A yard does not feel low maintenance because you ignore it. It feels low maintenance because it was designed to be easier from the beginning. In this video, we're walking through 9 practical steps that build on each other, from the mindset shift most homeowners skip to the seasonal routine that ties everything together. Along the way, you'll see how small changes to your lawn, your beds, your plant choices, and even your watering strategy can cut hours of weekly labor without sacrificing curb appeal. Let's start with the mistake almost everyone makes, the first weekend they break ground. Number 1, and here's the truth that nobody wants to hear on Saturday morning. Most yards look their best for exactly 1 weekend, right after the mulch goes down and the plants are still in their pots. I remember my neighbor Linda, who spent 3 days straight laying sod, planting annuals, and building a perfect border. By the next summer, she was already overwhelmed by weeds and overgrown shrubs. The real trap is designing a yard for that first photo, not for the seasons and years that follow. Every new planting needs weekly attention for the first 18 to 24 months, watering, weeding, checking for gaps. But after that, the real question is whether your design still fits your life. If you plan only for the first weekend, you'll spend every spring and fall playing catch-up. Instead, imagine what your yard should look like in year 2, when the plants have settled in and your energy is back to normal. The goal isn't to win Yard of the Month for a week. It's to have a space that's easy to keep up with, year after year. The easiest yard is not the one you ignore. It's the one that was honest about how much time you actually have. In second place, here's the quickest way to cut your yard work. Shrink the amount of lawn you have to mow. Most people start with a big, awkward patch of grass simply because it came with the house. But every strip you mow, water, and edge eats up your weekend. Montana State's numbers are clear. If you replace just a quarter of a standard 1,200 square foot lawn with mulch, you can slash your mowing time by about 30% and eliminate watering on that area entirely. Pick one narrow, annoying strip along the driveway or a shady corner that never seems to thrive. Pull up the sod, loosen the soil, and lay down a thick 6-inch blanket of bark mulch. That's it. No more irrigation, no more mowing, and no more fighting weeds every week. The best part? You see the difference right away, and you only have to do it once. Number 3, bigger beds mean fewer headaches. When you pull scattered plants together into one large, continuous bed, you instantly cut down on the number of edges you have to trim and the awkward spots where weeds sneak in. A clean, defined edge, especially one made from metal or concrete and set 4 to 6 inches deep, acts like a barrier, stopping grass runners and making it much harder for weeds to creep into your planting areas. According to Oklahoma State, installing this kind of edge takes about 15 minutes per 100 feet, and once it is in, you will notice you spend half as much time fussing with a trimmer or a hand weeder along the borders. The real secret is that a big, simple bed is easier to mulch, easier to water, and much easier to keep tidy. It is not about having more plants, it is about having less chaos. Number 4, pick the plant it will be, not the plant it is in a nursery pot. Every label at the garden center lists a mature height and width, but it's easy to ignore that fine print when you're standing in front of a cute little shrub. The truth is, a dwarf shrub that says it will reach 2 to 3 feet wide really does want that much elbow room. Clemson's low-maintenance spacing advice is clear. Plant ground covers 6 to 12 inches apart, dwarf shrubs at least 2 feet apart, and bigger shrubs or grasses 4 to 6 feet apart. If you squeeze plants in, you will be out there every spring with the pruners, fighting to keep things tidy. But if you give each one its proper space from the start, most will fill in beautifully and need nothing more than a light trim once a year, if that. The best rule of thumb? Read the tag, trust the numbers, and resist the urge to crowd. Number 5, repetition is the secret most designers never mention. When you limit your yard to just 3 to 5 reliable, region-appropriate plants, everything gets easier. Shopping, planting, even diagnosing problems down the road. The latest industry surveys point to a clear trend: regional palettes built around a handful of dependable performers. Instead of grabbing one of everything at the garden center, pick a short list that thrives in your climate and repeat those choices throughout your beds. This is not just about looks. Repetition creates visual calm, helps you buy in bulk, and means you only have to learn the quirks of a few plants, not a dozen. If a shrub starts looking off, you will spot it right away because you know what healthy should look like. Aim for 3 to 5 mainstays, planted in groups, to keep your yard feeling intentional and soothing, not chaotic. Number 6, open soil is just an invitation for weeds to move in. The fastest way to cut weeding time is to cover every bare patch with a 2 to 3 inch layer of mulch or a dense living ground cover. A uniform blanket of organic mulch, like shredded bark, pine fines, or even compost, blocks sunlight from reaching weed seeds, making it much harder for them to germinate. University extension offices consistently recommend that 2 to 3 inches is the sweet spot, thick enough to smother annual weeds and hold moisture, but not so deep that it suffocates your plants. For areas where mulch is not practical, a mat-forming ground cover like a juga vinca or creeping thyme can knit together over time, sealing out weeds and stabilizing the soil. The process is simple. Spread mulch after planting, keep it even, and top it up every spring. The payoff is real: less bending, less pulling, and healthier soil all season long. Number 7, here's a trick that can save you hours every month. Group your plants by how much water they need. Instead of running around with a hose or guessing which bed is thirsty, set up just 2 or 3 simple zones. One for plants that like regular drinks, one for those that can handle a little drought, and maybe a third for the in-betweens. Think of it as giving each group its own watering schedule. According to the EPA, proper hydrozoning, especially with drip or microspray systems and a smart controller, can cut your outdoor water use by 30 to 60% and halve the time you spend watering by hand. Start by mapping out your yard on a piece of paper, noting the sunny, dry areas and the shady, moisture-loving spots. Then match each group with the right delivery. Drip for shrubs and perennials, microspray for ground covers, pop-up only for lawn. The real payoff is less plant stress and fewer dead zones, plus a water bill that does not make you wince. Number 8, if a patch of your yard keeps failing, it is time to stop fighting it and change the use. Every yard has that stubborn strip along the fence, the spot under the dense maple, or the muddy patch where nothing seems to thrive. After a few rounds of replanting, watering, and mulching, it is easy to feel stuck in a cycle of disappointment and extra work. Instead of pouring more time and money into these chronic problem areas, consider converting them to hardscape, gravel, stepping stones, or even a small patio. This is not giving up. It is choosing a one-and-done solution that fits the reality of your space. Hardscape in tough microsites means no more repeat planting, no more dragging hoses, and no more weeding in places that never reward the effort. A simple sweep or the occasional rinse is all the upkeep these areas need. The real win is that you stop dreading the same old chore and reclaim your weekends for something better. Number 9, low maintenance is a rhythm, not a wish. The secret isn't skipping chores, but setting a simple seasonal routine you can actually keep up with. Picture it as a short checklist for each quarter: a spring cleanup to clear winter debris, a late spring mulch top-up to keep weeds down, a midsummer irrigation check, a late summer spot weed and deadhead, and a fall tidy before the cold sets in. Each task takes just a burst of effort. Then you are done until the next pulse. Extension guides show that these short, focused bursts, rather than letting things pile up, can keep your yearly yard work from ballooning to 70 or 90 hours. It's not about perfection, but about preventing backlog and overwhelm. When you build these mini routines into your calendar, your yard stays manageable and you stay sane. Across every step, one pattern stands out. A yard only stays easy when you plan for what real life actually looks like, not some fantasy weekend. Low maintenance comes from honesty, not shortcuts. The easiest yard is not the one you ignore. It's the one that was honest about how much time you actually have.